It's been a disastrous morning so far for Donald Trump, and he has been lashing out. The inflation numbers are surging up, 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 and he is blaming former President Biden. He's posting Biden inflation exclamation point. No, Donald, it is Donald Trump inflation being caused by you. Under former President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, inflation was decreasing. Then you made all of these tariff threats and then imposed tariffs and engaged in all of this reckless behavior, driving the prices up, up, up. Also, Donald Trump's favorability is sinking. He had, I guess, some hope based on that ridiculous CBS poll that he was somewhat being viewed favorably, but right now the latest poll numbers are devastating. The Morning Consult poll shows that a majority of Americans view him already as unfavorable. Now, that shouldn't be a surprise to you and our international audience, but it should be noted that at the beginning of a president's term, their approval should be in the high 60s, low 70s. That's what we normally see here in the United States. That's what it was for former President Biden, despite all of the attacks being launched against Biden by MAGA right away. And for former President Obama and Clinton and George W. Bush, it was in the mid to even sometimes high 70s as well. Here's the data we're getting. Carl Quintanilla, the CNBC economics reporter, he posted the following. U.S. inflation worsened last month in the latest sign of sticky consumer price pressures. U.S. inflation accelerates last month as the cost of groceries, gas, and used cars rose, a trend that will likely underscore the Federal Reserve's resolve to delay any further interest rate cuts, and eggs surging to all-time highs. You take a look right here at the Financial Times, what they're reporting. U.S. inflation unexpectedly increased to 3% in January. Here's what Donald Trump is posting. Biden inflation up, exclamation point. Donald Trump's posting interest rates should be lowered, something which should go hand in hand with upcoming tariffs. Let's rock and roll, America. Let's rock and roll. You realize that Donald Trump's tariffs are going to force the United States of America into a great recession or a depression. Donald Trump's reckless tariffs are inflationary. Also, Donald Trump's tariff threats, or is he going to impose them? Is he not going to impose them? It's causing the world to boycott products in the United States of America, and it's causing a massive boycott against tourism to the United States. That, of course, also coupled with the fact that Donald Trump is dismantling the entire government and all of our safety apparatus in the United States, making it no longer safe to even travel to the United States of America. A massive boycott underway in Canada of buying any American products at all, or even traveling to America. It is a scarlet letter in Canada if you travel to America, continue to own property or rental properties in America, or buy American products, unless you're like absolutely forced to. You know, it's interesting that Donald Trump spending the morning trying to interfere with the independent Federal Reserve, because wasn't it last week or so on February 5th where Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made the announcement Trump will not be calling for the Fed to lower interest rates? Interesting, because February 5th, that was the headline by the Treasury Secretary. Trump will not be calling for the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. But look what he's doing today. I don't know, maybe Donald Trump is just the biggest liar ever. He's a convicted criminal. He is a fraud. He is a felon. He is a sexual assaulter. He is a predator. He is a bankrupter of business. Of course he engages in this type of behavior. By the way, one of the things that I noticed as well when I was looking at Donald Trump's tantrum from this morning were the advertisements. Like, what are they selling around his posts for him to make money off this? Oh, look, it's posts by RFK Jr. still telling people to get your ivermectin, the horse tranquilizer stuff, from whatever this pharmacy is that they are promoting right here. Folks, we're having like the highest flu outbreak right now, essentially in recent history, and flu deaths in America are high. We have H5N1 here, avian flu spreading. COVID deaths are now again rising to ridiculously high levels in the United States of America. Right back Right back where we were in 2020 with this freaking idiot, and now they're back with their ivermectin crap again on Donald Trump's social media platform. But folks, he is putting in caps, "Make America Great Again!" exclamation point, and he is saying, "Rock and roll, everybody, rock and roll." Donald Trump then posts the following: Doge has found massive amounts of fraud, waste, incompetence, and abuse. But even knowing this, a highly political activist judge wants us to immediately make payment anyway. In other words, pay, even though you know the payment was fraudulently requested to be made. Doge caught them. The judge doesn't care. It doesn't make sense. Hey, you little pathetic little psycho. Why don't you list the judge's name? Or all of the judges' names who have ruled against you. Oh, you don't want to do that? Why? Because they're judges who you appointed. They're judges who George W. Bush appointed. They're judges who Ronald Reagan appointed. And sure, there are some judges who Biden appointed and Obama appointed. But it is all of the judges. Trump judges, Obama judges, George W. Bush judges, Reagan judges, Biden judges, who are all saying you are violating the Constitution. So what do? You're the fraud. You're the liar. So you now go and attack the judges. It's your old playbook. Oh, the judges are being unfair. It's just like when you were charged criminally and convicted. It's just like when you were sued for sexual assault and found liable. Oh, the judge's daughter, the judge's daughter, because you are a pathetic little psycho, and the world knows how absolutely weak you are as you throw your morning tantrums like this. This image right here, I think, stands out to me. As MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell writes, the most powerless image ever of a U.S. president, as Elon Musk's little bratty kid is like taunting Donald Trump. I think he was saying like, shush your mouth with his breath as Elon Musk was taking over the Oval Office proceedings. I mean, by the way, look at Elon Musk there. What in the world there? Oh, I guess I should fact check Donald Trump there. Okay, so Elon Musk was asked, hey, you're getting a lot of things wrong. You're just saying false things, and you're making like kind of false and defamatory accusations using Doge to do this. What do you say about that? To which Elon Musk goes, I'm going to be incorrect. I'm going to be wrong a lot of times. It is what it is. Play the clip.
and this is big numbers. Talk about $100 to $200 billion a year. Sure. Serious money.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact check this, it apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. And that is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it. If it went to Mozambique instead of Gaza, I'm like, okay, that's not as bad, but still, why are we doing that?
Can you talk about
Back to some of these numbers, folks. Heather Long, economist, says you can really see the high monthly inflation gain in January, 0.5% on the bar chart. Forecasts were for just 0.3% gain. Why? You see it right here in the data. Gas prices up, energy utility prices up, food prices up, transportation costs up, rent still rising. These are the types of things being impacted by Trump. Folks, that February report is going to be disastrous if that's just what he caused in the remaining days in January as a result of his chaos and his and all of the chaos that he brought. Carl Quintanilla posts, there it is. They have begun downplaying the likelihood that consumer costs like groceries will decline anytime soon. This is how the New York Times, tries to deal with it. Trump softens his tone on inflation after pledging to lower prices. He softens his tone. You mean he's a liar? You mean that he's confessing to lying to the American people, and now he's going to blame Biden inflation and the Biden who brought down the Trump inflation for 3.5 years, and then we had to hear all of this crap from Trump and MAGA and corporate media about, oh, it's Biden, while Biden was fixing the problem, and now we brought back in the arsonist, and what does the arsonist do? Light the freaking thing on fire again. What do you think he's going to do? Oh, you want to talk about international relations this morning as well? Egypt's president, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, will not travel to Washington for talks at the White House if the agenda includes Donald Trump's plan to displace Palestinians from Gaza. Two Egyptian security sources said, yeah, al-Sisi saw Donald Trump in the Oval Office with the Jordanian King Abdullah II, and he goes, I ain't sitting in the Oval Office while Donald Trump tries to talk about taking over Gaza, because if I have, what the Egyptian president realizes, if I'm sitting there while Trump is saying that, and I don't tell Donald Trump the Palestinian land belongs to Palestinians, and I do nothing, and I just go, yeah, we're going to ethnically cleanse them, there'll be a coup in Egypt, because Trump's such an idiot. He doesn't have any idea the way international relations actually works. So Egypt's president, I'm not coming to the United States and sitting there and watching that gong show take place in the Oval Office. Finally, international relations, a mess, a disaster this morning as well. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said returning Ukraine to its 2014 borders, meaning its actual borders, is unrealistic, and says the Trump administration will not allow Ukraine to join NATO. They do not support Ukraine joining NATO. Then again, the Trump administration is probably going to dismantle NATO. Here's moments ago, Secretary of Defense, crazy I even have to call him that, former Fox News host who got this position somehow, Pete Hegseth. Play this clip.
We want, like you, a sovereign and prosperous Ukraine. But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. The United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops.
Yep, Neville Chamberlain vibes right there, folks. Neville Chamberlain vibes right there. There you have it. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers, and thanks for watching.